I spoke about house parties and the Springboks. Huge shout out to the boys. I know it was a warm-up game. To be fully honest, those of us who are like rugby enthusiasts, we didn't really care about the outcome. We just wanted to see if the boys are in form.
Yes.
A lot of people wanted to see Siya Kolisi, especially having come out of injury.
Yes.
If you've played sports, you will know. Number one, his knee recovery was ridiculous. Normally takes 9 months. If you have good recovery, it's 6 months. He was ready to go in 4.5. They probably injected that knee with crazy painkillers, but he had a monster game. I saw him chase down a guy, 16:52. So there was a joke about the score because it was 52-16.
Yes.
And there's this thing about white settlers came here in 1652. I saw Kali Kriel of AfriForum saying they want to blame the settlers for the score. So yeah, 52-16. Shout out to the Springboks, man. I don't know if you saw the game, if you have any thoughts about that.
So I didn't see that specific game. I
Sure.
just know it's the best performance that we've had against Wales ever.
Wales is normally one of our, what's the right word, Achilles heel.
Yes.
But in the World Cups, especially semi-finals and stuff, South Africa struggles because Wales is really good at replicating the South African game.
Okay.
And they tend to be able to match somewhat the muscles. If you look at some of the World Cups we've had, we've struggled with Wales. Hey? So this is a really nice confidence booster. Even though, like I said, the score doesn't really matter. And I don't know if Wales really put on their best showing. And no one is really meant to show their moves. Because you can't play your World Cup strategy here.
No.
Everyone's watching. So it's
Yes.
just, let's see if the boys are good, score some tries, etc. But look, for South African fans, because we're very sensitive and we love winning no matter what, very happy. The question marks, Manny Libbok at number 10 as the kicker, because what has come to be seen as best practice is having a brilliant kicker for the World Cup. You
Yep.
look at Johnny Wilkinson in
Yes.
England. You look at Percy Montgomery at
The
some
safe
point.
points. The safe
Yeah.
points that we have to get.
100%. Dan Carter, Andre Pollard, of course, who's actually officially out of injury now. But it's just unfortunate because unless if someone gets injured, he can't be selected. Sadly, a lot of people are probably praying somewhere that someone gets injured because they want Andre Pollard in. Lucanio Arm, best 13 in the world, is still not ready to play. But I think he's also sort of out of injury, ready to start training. But people are worried about Manny Libbok. He's amazing in open play, passes brilliantly both sides. He's been the informed fly half in South Africa in the past 2 seasons. Is he good enough to win the World Cup? We don't know. But we've won a World Cup with a fly half who's not a brilliant kicker, being Butch James. When Percy Montgomery was playing
Yes.
at fullback, we had Butch. Other teams, Stephen Lockham, drop kick, which helped win, but he wasn't the specialist kicker for the Wallabies in Australia. New Zealand won a World Cup. Dan Carter injured. The other fly-halves injured. They brought in Stephen Donald and they still won. So we're hoping. I just don't know if we've tried some of the other guys. I think Cheslin Colby can kick. I'm not sure how well. Damian Willemse can kick. I'm not sure how well. People have said I think Faf can kick. Jaden Hendrickse, I don't know why he's not being tried out because I watched him back at Glenwood in high school. The boy can slot 60 meters,
Wow.
like Franz Steyn.
Wow.
The boy can slot 60 meters, and I don't know if he's been tried as a kicker. So we have guys that can kick. Are they good enough? Last 1 minute of the World Cup, 2-point game, and you're like, call this guy. And you need Francois Steyn is mad upstairs. You need someone who's crazy like Francois Steyn who almost doesn't care and will come and take 55 meters, boy, sweating, wipe, and just slot that thing in like it's nothing. We don't know yet, but we're hoping that the games won't be that tight.
Yeah.
If the boys can steamroll, we won't need those points. But we're gonna miss the Mornay Steins, who's arguably, on paper, on stats, arguably the best fly half of all time.
Oh, wow.
On stats.
On stats.
Not my favorite.
Okay.
Dan Carter, Johnny Wilkinson, and the guys are there. But
Okay.
Mornay Steyn, boy, you can call England, you can call New Zealand, you can call anyone. You're like, we need to put money on the table. We need 10 kicks that are going to be slotted in this game.
Okay.
Without question, Mornay Steyn.
Beautiful. I've got a question.
Yeah.
Friday. So that's tomorrow. Depending on when this episode is
Sure.
going to be aired, we are facing the All Blacks. Okay. just before the World Cup. Now, you asked me on the last episode, if you were president, what would you do with a song? You are coach for the next, call it 12 weeks,
Yeah.
pre and post. How do you handle the team? First question is, do you put your best team to go and give 100% on Friday?
Sure.
Or is your strategy more, we're going to test the water, we're going to see what they come at us with and take it from there? Do you risk injury? Do you risk potentially losing a star player in Friday's game? It's just some of the questions that I have in my mind that luckily you get to answer today.
Yeah, look, I won't have smart answers like you. So, guys, please don't judge me. Jacques Nienaber. What an amazing guy, man. Is it Jacques? Jacques Nienaber. A lot of people still think Rassi is the coach. So, Rassi is a weird guy that we all love.
Yes.
Because he's a maverick. Rassi was brought in as the coach of the Springboks, but at the same time, director of rugby. So, he reported to himself.
Wow.
You know? Like Bobby, asking Bobby for a raise. And then he fired himself, but he blooded Nienaber, who was, I think, his assistant in the last World Cup, along with people like Kumzwandile Stick for the backline, etc. So Nienaber he's won a World Cup. For people that are maybe not sure, he's won a World Cup. He was there. He's done everything. He's highly competent. The rest of the guys were there as well, highly competent. Now, as Nienaber, as Rassi, what do you do? One of the scary things that a lot of us are not expecting is the All Blacks are fielding a full-strength side.
Yes.
On Friday.
Yes.
Bar Shannon Frizzell, who's injured. Not sure about Brody Retallick if he's on. I'm not sure. But the Barrett brothers are on the field. Starting scrum of Aaron Smith, Richie Mounga, all the guys are there. So that was weird because a lot of people didn't expect us. Like, oh, bring on the B-side guys, try them out. Could this be a psychological trick? And what are they up to?
Yes.
What do the Springboks do? I need to, on behalf of the fans, because South African fans are hard, boy. We want to win alles.
No matter what, yes.
I really hope the Springboks lose.
You really hope the Springboks lose?
Yes.
How come?
I'm only saying this because that would become a psychological trick for all the other teams in the World Cup and for South Africa itself. Because if they win, they almost go in as not the underdogs, but as the favorites. And you generally don't really want to be there going in, especially against the All Blacks. Everyone's going to be watching. Some people are saying in the comments, there's never a friendly warm-up game against the All Blacks. Never.
Agree. I'm in that camp, yes.
And I was watching Peter Steph Dutoy, my favorite Springbok, next to Cheslin Colby. I don't think Peter Steph knows how to take it easy, bro. He was going berserk last week. I can only imagine the same is going to be happening. Jasper Visa. As Nienaber, I tell the boys, take it easy. Number one. I anticipate. I've seen the All Blacks in the past in similar games. I anticipate a lot of kicking. To avoid a lot of contact.
Okay.
So I'd be telling Faf, scope the ball, play in their half, try and put a little bit of pressure. Let's see if we can get some penalties. Maybe get a line out, basic maul, drive. Don't arm wrestle in the middle. If we're in our half, scope alles weg. Faf, Manny Liebok, Damien Derland is not a kicker. Willie is not really a kick. But whoever has the ball, kick. Let's play in their half. Let's play in their 22. I think the All Blacks are also going to be playing a lot of kicking, especially cross kicks to the wings, trying to put pressure, trying to get a lot of penalties. It's going to be a territorial game more than a possession game.
Okay.
You can have as much possession as you want, as long as it's in your 22 and in your half, because we want to avoid as much physical contact as possible. Sia and some of the muscle guys must play, if they're lucky, the first half. But you almost want to take them off as quickly as possible to minimize, especially fatigue and those things. If we could field the second team, I'd be like, field an entire second team and let them lose. Let them lose 50-20. It's fine. We don't mind. We'll be like, it was a second team. The guys are gaining confidence, and they're gaining confidence against the best All Black side. But I don't think the All Blacks are going to be doing a lot. And I think the All Blacks psychologically are probably also going to be like, we don't mind losing. It's chilled. Because we want to go into the World Cup being like, we lost to the Springboks. So I'd be like, take it easy, but maybe use this period to practice your territorial kicking, some strategic play, whatever that means. Maybe try yourself out with some drop goals to, gain some confidence if you can get those in. Some box kicks, minimize. And then maybe some lineouts, challenge some of their lineouts. Try and win as many of your lineouts as possible, even though you're going to take the ball and kick it away.
Yeah.
But you just want to build that confidence. And then in the scrums, just match up. But don't try and fight them back. Just defensive scrums as much as possible. Just hold. Don't try and push them back. But don't be going in there and trying to hurt these people because you will get injured. Now, this is going to be very wrong for me to say. If you're bringing on a second choice, third choice scrum off, play your heart out, boy. You leave your body on the field because we actually want you to get injured. So Andre can come in. Certain key players, go all in, boy. Like, you lose your marbles. I don't know who are the informed locks and who are not. But one of the locks, if they could go and bring in Luet de Jager, you want to bring in those guys somehow. Or maybe, look, play as hard as you can. Get as injured as you can. And then later on in the World Cup, you'll be so battered and bruised, we'll have to send you home and then we'll bring the guys up. But I don't even know why this game was allowed. It is always going to be a tough game. The problem with Afrikaans people, a lot of them don't listen. So I use Pieter Steff, maybe Dwayne Vermeulen, people like Jasper Wiese. I don't think those guys know how to take their foot off the gas. And I don't know if they're able to watch the All Blacks score 3 tries and just take it lying down. The guys I saw the same thing in Siyakulis's eyes last week. Some of these guys, man, it's like they don't think. And I don't know how you calm them down. Bro, just relax. Maybe you take them off the field. I don't know. But that's all I'd say. Territory, number one. A lot of kicking. Minimize contact. Hopefully some of the games are not going to be too demanding. You want to have... I think the World Cup is 8 games.
Yeah.
And what Rassi had last time was every game is a final. So go all out. The guys are fit, the guys are good. But with this game in particular, you don't want to get injuries of some of the key guys. So I don't know. That would be my thing. So the supporters, forget the scoreboard. We're going for territory. We're going for kicking. And you want your hardest guys to not go as hard as possible. This game should not be happening. Forget it even is happening. It's the last warm-up for the boys, and they must take it easy.
But it is happening, though. And
it's the All Blacks.
I wanna give you my opinion, and I love the mentality of every game is a final. When you put big egos, big guys in the same room in a competitive sport, obviously there's the strategists and the guys on top that say, okay, we're gonna make this move because this it. But at the end of the day, those guys are not on the field. And on the field, the picture looks different. You've got this guy that's a rock star, that's a superstar, and I have an opportunity to scrum against you, or you running up towards me and I have an opportunity to stop you. That's all I'm going to say.
Score prediction. We're going to obviously look at this in retrospect.
So you are right every time. I hope you are wrong this time.
Okay.
So, I'm going to pray for no injuries and a 7 to 8 point lead for the Springboks.
Okay. Who kicks for the Richie Mounga? I'm looking for 10 to 15 point lead by New Zealand. Not necessarily. Look, I'm an All Blacks fan. Maybe I should have said that up front. Jeez.
Are you an All Black?
Jeez, I apologize. I should have said that up front. But it's not. It's got nothing to do with me being an All Blacks fan. If I was behind the Springboks and I wanted them to win the World Cup, I would prefer that everyone almost sees them as the underdogs. And this is the game to lose, so that from here on you win every single game, because everyone got overexcited. They were like, we saw they weak here. Look at what the All Blacks did to them. And you're like, Moy, you come there, boy, and you think you've got us, and watch what we're actually going to do to you. So for that psychological edge, I'm going to be nervous if the Springboks win this game. Because if they do win and everyone celebrates, I'm going to be studying the All Blacks' faces. And if the All Blacks are running off the field as losers and they're smiling, I'd be nervous. So I'm hoping the All Blacks win purely from a psychological perspective. You beat me at training, everyone clapped, you went in as the favorite. Bobby beat him, you saw. I'm like, moi. Next game, I mean, I'm going to put all money on myself. I'm going to tell everyone, put all your money on me.
Yeah.
This boy doesn't know what's coming for him. Rocky Balboa. Watch what's going to happen. So, 10 to 15 point lead by the All Blacks, mostly on the boot of Richie Mo'unga.
I love sports, and I love organized sports, and I love these debates. My favorite of all time sports person is this man here, Michael
MJ.
Jordan. 100% by far. Like any little piece of content that gets released, I follow him on every platform. I think he's a flippant rock star. But the mentality there is step onto the field to win. Don't step onto the field to try. As a strategist, you are 100% logical. It makes sense because you're setting up for the next. But as a young man, having the opportunity to wear, the national colors, and you are stepping
whatever they
up
are
to
now, because it was green and gold, and this turquoise looking white thing, we don't know.
But stepping up to an All Blacks team, doing the haka in front of you, your family's watching, the whole country's watching, the pressure is on, the lights are on. I'm going for the win.
You're very unhealthy. So people
I'm
like
sorry.
that, I'd put on the bench. I'd be like, because MJ had a very unhealthy obsession with winning and
Win
improvement.
Win at all costs. Which
As a coach, as a team manager, I want to win the World Cup, and I want you there at the end. So sometimes I have to do the uncool thing. Unfortunately for some of these guys, you put them on the bench, you bring them on second half, and they go and they get injured precisely because you put them on the bench. They're like, you can't cage me. So I'd almost want him to not even play at all.
So as a person that's been involved in a lot of organized rugby, and you've been in very close contact with winning teams, is a mixture between the two mentalities perhaps what is necessary to win the World Cup?
The right mentality, to be honest.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest now.
Yes.
The right mentality is to win everything.
To win everything.
To win everything. The wrong mentality is to win everything by any means necessary and at all costs, where you now have to super strap guys and inject them with the craziest drugs, and we win. 3 years later, the guy can't walk anymore. Shaking, he's got boxer's brain or whatever. Because these are human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You want to be human first, and then obsessed with winning second. That's why I'm saying, as a player, this is your chance to shine. When will you ever represent your country again? It was your dream as a young boy.
Yeah.
It's the All Blacks. What if you don't get to face the All Blacks ever again because you get injured somewhere else or whatever? You're like, I'm going to go all in. You want to win everything to a point where people are like, even in warm-up games and practice games, these guys don't know how to switch off. And that's what I'm saying about people like Peter Steff. The guy is insane. I mean, Cheslin Colby's another one.
Yeah.
Cheslin can't play a friendly game. He's going to step you guys fucked up. He's going to score tries. So, but as a manager, you almost want to, if the guy can't manage it, you like, look, we'll bring on second half, or we'll play you just for the first 20 minutes. Because we know your mindset. You want to marry that somewhat, but it's tricky, and you can only know if you're right after you've won. In retrospect, you never know. Jake White wasn't supposed to win a World Cup. Very arrogant. Picked certain guys that probably should not have been picked, but then in retrospect he won. So he's like, oh, fuck all you guys. I was right.
Yeah, I was right.
But as an athlete, as a performer, as someone who wants to succeed in life, you want to win everything. Warm up, play, friendly match. We're doing this for charity. You're like, yeah, but I beat you in that charity game. So it's whatever, man. And I'll beat you in the final. And I'll beat you in the semis. And I'll beat you in the playoffs. Because I want you to know that this is not I don't need to strategize. I will beat you. It does. Bring your strategy. I'll still beat you. Because I'm about winning. But yeah, other people need to apply their minds and like get Bobby off the field.
You should
Send
start
Bobby at
coaching,
home.
because I want to go and tackle someone now off the street because you firing me up, man.
Jeez, no thanks, Bobby. I don't know if we covered everything. For everyone who's watching again, guys, thank you so much, man, for the support. We appreciate you guys more than anything. Yes, these are conversations, but one of the things I've learned in this game is conversations actually have a real impact out there in the world. Sound of Freedom, please go check it out. Please be vigilant with your children, not just your children, be vigilant with the children around you. Let us go back to the saying of it takes a village to raise a child, and be part of a very, very healthy village where if you see the parents next to you, your siblings are slacking, you be the one to educate the children. You tell them, don't take things from strangers. Make sure that you're always with your parents. You train the parents. Not enough parents are being trained. So if you're smarter, train the parents. Be like, don't let your kids do this. I see your child walking around here. It's dangerous. Don't do that. If you've got a problem, I'll help. Put on something. But go and watch this movie. Let's get involved in changing the world for the better. Message to criminals, a message to people who own cars. Again, guys, be vigilant. If you're in crime, it doesn't have to be hijacking cars. It can be something else. This is your time to change. Change your life. We will try to help where we can, but you need to make the decision to be like, you know what? I can't live like this anymore. I am part of the evil that everyone speaks about in the world, and I want to stop. I want to be part of the good. And then, to the Springboks, man, I personally don't care about this game. I'm not favoring the All Blacks or the Springboks in this game. I think they're all warming up. But come World Cup time, my eyes are actually on France and Ireland. A lot of people are saying it's going to be a Northern Hemisphere World Cup.
Wow.
They say this every now and then the Southern Hemisphere teams are like, hold my coffee.
Watch this move.
But I'd like to see France. I'd like to see Ireland. I'd like to see Scotland. I'd like to see Wales and see what they bring to the party. I'd like to see if the Polynesian teams have improved at all. The Fijis, the Samoas, etc. But it's go Boka, man. As we sit on a proudly South African platform, the Springboks mean more to us than just sport. We're at a time in this country where things are just bad. And it really always helps to have a winning team because it fires up people to be like, guys, if the Springboks can do this with different races, different religious backgrounds, different personalities, tall guys, short guys, fat guys, thin guys. There was one of the props that said salads don't win scrums. If we can do that on the sports field, we can do that in the economy. We can do that socially. We've got songs and chants that are polarizing the country. We've got people that are fighting. We've got xenophobia and racism and sexism. And we need to look to the Springboks. I mean, it's not just a bunch of guys on the team. They've got female physios. They've got female fans and supporters. They've got women behind the team from different races. And it's like, if we could come together, we can build a Springbok country and win. I love the All Blacks because they represent so much to me. But I'm always happy when the All Blacks lose to a very passionate Springbok side that defeats them in every regard, because as a South African, it means something to me. I could have never played for the All Blacks. When I played rugby, all I wanted to play for was the green and gold. So to the boys, man, good luck. And we're going to be rooting for you against the All Blacks. Personally, I don't care much for the game. Bobby says 8 points.
8 points.
8 points Springboks. I say 10 points All Blacks. And we'll see how it goes.
Sir, once again, you are leaving me and everybody that's going to watch this episode a lot better than you found us. Thank you for your insight, for your charisma, for your knowledge, and thank you for sharing it so freely.
Love you,
Very
Bobby.
blessed.
Shout out to Vince and Elsie behind the cameras. We appreciate you guys very much, man.